Now, let's get perspective from a better mind. Former U.S. Special Envoy for Israeli-Palestinian negotiations under President Obama, Frank Lowenstein. It's good to have you, Frank.
Thanks for having me.
So, what's happening in Rafah right now, does this make it more or less likely that you get a ceasefire deal?
I think it's a reflection of the fact that there is no meaningful opportunity for a ceasefire here. I think Hamas was playing a cynical game today, pretending to accept an offer that Israel had never made. They had no intention of entering into any kind of meaningful agreement here. I'm not sure the Israelis did either, but certainly in Hamas's case, they knew that the underlying issue of whether this was a permanent ceasefire or a temporary ceasefire had not been resolved. So they pretended to accept an offer that had a permanent ceasefire when there was nothing of the sort on the table. So I think this is posturing to blame Israel for the failure of the negotiations.
But Israel is taking the opportunity to prove their critics right? And while there's supposed to be negotiations ongoing, they are doing what's on the screen right now in an area where they know the innocent were not able to get out.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Look at what the parties, both sides, look at what they do and not what they say. So Israel's saying on the one hand, we're going to send some low-level negotiators to Cairo to continue the negotiations. At the same time, they are bombing areas in Rafah, but they've also announced their intention as early as tonight to take over what's called the Philadelphia corridor, which is the area in between the Egyptian border and the city of Rafah, essentially to cut off Rafah from the Egyptian border. That's a major military operation there, and it suggests to me that the Israelis aren't taking these negotiations seriously at all. Moreover, they don't seem to be taking the Biden administration's admonitions about not beginning this Rafah incursion seriously at all. So I think it could be heading into a place where Biden and the Israelis are openly fighting one another over this Rafah situation.
What can Biden really do to control what Israel does?
Very little. But the one thing I can tell you won't have any impact on the Israelis is what Biden says. It's only what he does. And in all honesty, I think the only thing that would really get the Israelis' attention is to threaten to condition military assistance, right? If we said to the Israelis, hey, we're not going to give you any more weapons if you don't start listening to us in terms of Rafah, then you might see the Israelis change their posture. If all he's doing is saying, hey, we really don't want you to do this, I don't think the Israelis care about that at all.
Yeah, but, you know, look, we know, and people who've been following this know, Bibi was dead man walking before all this, okay? They can't hold elections right now. And even if somebody did beat him, which I think is highly likely, even by their most current polls, the policies probably wouldn't change vis-a-vis what's happening in Gaza and eventually the West Bank. So politically, doesn't he need exactly what's happening now just to stay in power, which is we can't hold elections, it's too kinetic, it's too fraught?
Yeah, 100%. And that's been a major concern of the Biden administration all the way along, which is that Bibi has a political agenda that runs exactly counter to what Biden's trying to get done here. And at any opportunity to take his political path rather than the policy path, especially with respect to the United States, Bibi will take that. And it's important to know he's pandering, in effect, to some of the most extreme elements of the Israeli government that he needs for his political survival. So we are, in effect, dealing with an Israeli government that's being driven by some of the most extreme folks in any government anywhere. And that makes it really hard for Biden.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, to me, the indicator of that is that Bibi's not saying, give us back all our people, and then we'll start making concessions. He's not doing that. He's doing the campaign. He doesn't believe he's going to get the hostages back. And frankly, I don't think it's his primary priority. Not to criticize his morality or any sense like that. I think strategically, it's not where his head is. Mr. Lowenstein, thank you so much for your intelligence. Appreciate you putting your head to this for us. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.